Welcome to this course on Elements of Mechanical Engineering. My name is Atchuta Ramacharyulu and I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering College. And today's topic is global warming and ozone depletion. Currently, we are in the first module where we are studying different sources of energy. In this lecture, we are going to see how the different combustion of different fuels causing the global warming and ozone depletion. Now, we'll go into the topic. So, the global warming is the phenomenon of rise in the average air temperature near the surface of the earth over the past 2 centuries. So, what is global warming and how can we define the global warming? So, global warming is the rise of earth's temperature, where the temperature of the earth will rise because of the different activities done by the human beings on earth. One of the major activity is burning of fuels and production of very harmful gases from industries. As we can see in these pictures, lot of industrial effluents are being evolved from the companies where they produce very harmful gases. So this is where all these gases will be stuck inside the earth's atmosphere. The source of these gases may be industries or automobile engines or anything. So these gases are stuck inside the earth's atmosphere, and the infrared rays coming from the sun, they will be held inside the atmosphere so that it will increase the temperature of the surface of the earth. So the global warming is a very big issue which has to be taken care. Otherwise, the earth's atmosphere will rise rapidly. Over the past 2 centuries, the temperature of the earth has increased by about 3 degrees centigrade. That is the average temperature. In some places it is very high, particularly in the polar ice cap regions where the temperature is rising. Due to the increase in the temperature, the ice caps are being melted down, and this ice cap, the water is being emerged into the oceans or seas while increasing the sea level. So, if we go on increasing the temperature by producing these harmful gases, there is a risk of increasing the sea level, which may cause lot of floods. Most of the places on earth will be submerged underwater. They will be no longer habitable. So, there are many disadvantages due to global warming, and the global warming is a main issue where we have to keep in mind that the production of harmful gases. There are many sources of gases. There are many different types of gases are there being produced. All these gases will cause global warming when they trapped inside the Earth's atmosphere. Now we'll see modern global warming is the effect of increase in the magnitude of the greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases. So what are greenhouse gases? Greenhouse gases are like carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and other greenhouse gases are there. So because of these greenhouse gases, the global warming is being happened. The global warming is the issue which is of key interest nowadays. People have to see and keep in mind that every human activity may lead to global warming. Now we'll see what are the causes of global warming. There are many causes, mostly the formation of gases from industries and automobiles. And in this picture, we can see a very huge increase in the number of automobiles. Mostly in the cities, we'll see large number of automobiles are being generating lot of carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide, which are very harmful for the atmosphere by the combustion of fuels like petrol or diesel or CNG. So these automobiles can produce the gases like carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. When these gases enter into the atmosphere, they will stay in the atmosphere for a while. They will not dissolve into any other form. So due to this, the solar radiation, whatever the solar rays are coming into the Earth's atmosphere, will be get trapped inside the Earth atmosphere. These infrared rays are very dangerous. They can increase the temperature of the surface of the Earth. So that is why the production of these harmful gases is very dangerous for Earth as well as human beings. So the gases are like, there are many greenhouse gases like CO2, methane, nitrous oxide. So these are the sources of global warming. The major source is carbon dioxide, which goes up to 80%. 80% of the greenhouse gases is carbon dioxide. The production of carbon dioxide must be controlled. It can be controlled in a very old method like planting lot of plants and trees. We know all the plants and trees will use this carbon dioxide and use the sunlight by a process called photosynthesis. And this carbon dioxide is utilized by the plants, and it can give out oxygen after the process has happened. So planting lot of plants is the one way in which we can control the harmfulness of the carbon dioxide, which contains of 80% of the greenhouse gases. And then methane and nitrous oxide. These constitute about 20% of the entire greenhouse gases. Okay, methane gas and nitrous gas. We'll see how these gases are evolved and how we can control them. And then chlorofluorocarbons, CFC. Chlorofluorocarbons are other kind of gases which are being generated or produced from refrigeration systems, where we can use AC or any refrigerators. These machines will give out or produce chlorofluorocarbons. These are also very dangerous as carbon dioxide and nitrous oxide. Okay, so we have to control the production of these gases, or we should take control methods or measures in order to reduce the production of these gases, or by using some. We can see in the automobiles there is a revolution being happened, that using of electrical vehicles. Now the electric vehicles are being used, which does not cause any produce any harmful gases like carbon dioxide, but still for running the vehicle we need electricity, where the electricity is being produced somewhere in the thermal power plant, which uses coal. Now this coal again produces carbon dioxide. So the use of automobiles should be decreased as possible in the future, so that we can reduce the production of carbon dioxide gases. So we'll see the first one, how the carbon dioxide is being produced in the earth in different processes like so carbon dioxide can be produced in many methods, and some of the methods is due to volcanic eruption. In this picture we can see the carbon dioxide is being evolved in the form of ash. So when there are volcanoes, these volcanoes can produce large amount of lava and smoke. When the eruption has happened, large amount of carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide and other gases will be produced from the volcano, and these gases will enter into the atmosphere. These are very huge, so that we cannot control the flow. For a small automobile like motorcycle or a car, we can attach a separate part called the silencer. It is also called as manifold. So this manifold can control or filter the harmfulness of the gases being produced in the automobile. Similarly, in volcano, there are a lot of gases will be evolved which we cannot control. We cannot manufacture a big manifold which will control or filter the gases coming out of the volcano. So this is a natural activity which we cannot control. But in the second picture, we can see deforestation. Deforestation is the thing where the cutting of the trees may lead to less absorption of the carbon dioxide. When we have cut down the trees, there are no more trees left for consuming the carbon dioxide. So trees, plants are the natural filters of carbon dioxide. They will take carbon dioxide and they will release oxygen. So this deforestation is the one thing where we can control. It is the stupid activity of the human beings, where cutting of the trees may lead to the increase in the level of carbon dioxide, because they will not absorb the carbon dioxide because there are no trees. So we'll see what are the processes by which a carbon dioxide is produced. It is released through natural processes such as respiration, volcanic eruptions, through human activities such as deforestation, land use changes, and burning of fossil fuels. So these are the main constituents or by which the carbon dioxide is being produced. These are the main causes. So due to deforestation, the trees are being decreased so that no more trees are left for consuming the oxygen, and land use changes. Some places where we will cut down the trees or plants, we will use that land for building houses. So because of this, the oxygen is not being produced by the plants. That is one cause. And burning of the fossil fuels. So burning of the fossil fuels, like in the form of petrol, diesel, etc., or coal. So these are the fuels which are obtained from the fossils, and these constitute carbon as a key component. They all contain carbon. When they are burned, they combine with oxygen and produce carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. So burning of the fossil fuels, in fact, using of the automobiles by using petrol, diesel, etc., is very dangerous because they will produce carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide gases into the atmosphere. And then methane. So this is another kind of gas which is produced into the atmosphere, and it is also a greenhouse gas which causes global warming. Now it is a chemical compound with the simplest alkane form and the main component constituent of natural gas. When we talk about natural gas, which is produced from the Earth's surface, or it is produced artificially. So wherever we take, the methane is the key component of the natural gas, mostly emitted during the production and transportation of coal, natural gas, and oil. So the methane gas is mostly produced when the production of coal. When we want to produce coal, the methane is produced, and when we are consuming or combusting the natural gas and oils, the methane gas will be produced. Okay, so methane is the key component of all the natural gas products. So methane emissions also result from the livestock and other agricultural practices, land use, and by the decay of organic waste in the municipal solid waste landfills. So in this picture we can see methane gases are being produced from different sources. We'll see the first one. So this is anaerobic oxidation by microbes. So this is a natural chemical reaction which is being happened in the surface of the earth, and this is anaerobic reaction which does not use any oxygen for the reaction. So this reaction will produce methane. And then second source, dry soil oxidation. This is another process which happens in the earth's soil, and this also produces methane. And then third process is methogens in soil. So due to the availability of these methanogens in the soil, the production of methane happens inside the earth's surface. So, and then melting permafrost. So this is also another source of the production of methane, where due to increase in the temperature of the surface, the permafrost is being melted and it produces large amount of methane. And then digestive processes in domestic animals. Mostly we see many animals like cows, buffaloes, pigs, etc., which are being domesticated, and the digestive system in them will produce methane, which we cannot control at all. And then we can see here landfills. These are the landfills or the dumping yards where we will collect the waste materials from household applications, and these waste materials are degradable. These are kept at a place where in a area called dump yard. In this dump yard, large amount of methane will be produced because they will be kept in that area for a longer period of time due to the reaction or chemical reactions happening in the land, whatever the dumping we have kept, and these are degradable, and due to the degradable and due to the decomposition of these material, methane gases are produced. And then digestive process in termites. Many small insects and bugs will be there. Due to the digestive process in these termites also, the methane gas will be produced. And see here, even in water, Inside the water, anaerobic oxidation by microbes will happen. Due to this reaction, methane gas will be produced even from the water also, like in oceans, ponds, seas, rivers, etc. And then burning of biomass. Mostly we are seeing the wildfires in many countries like Canada, Australia, and USA, where large amount of forest or large amount of wildlife is being burned down. Due to the burning of these fresh leaves or green leaves, uh, methane gas is produced. This is also another reason why methane gas is prominently increasing day by day, and it is becoming a main cause for the global warming. So these are the along with this we have fossil fuels. Fossil fuels is the where coal, petrol, or diesel are being burned and methane gas is produced. Okay, so these are the sources of methane where methane can be produced in many of the parts naturally. All these processes at the bottom, these are all natural processes, we cannot stop them. All the processes above, like filling the area with dumping of the waste material that may cause to decomposition and produce methane gas, and using of the biofuels, that is another cause, and wildfires where the trees and plants in the forest are being burned down and they will produce methane gas. So these are the man-made causes, like man-made causes for the production of methane. Anyway, we cannot control the natural processes, and we can control the man-made processes like wildfire, land filling with waste material, and production of the gases from the burning of fossil fuels. All these things can be controlled by human beings. Now, nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide is another component of the greenhouse gases, which constitute about 20% of the entire greenhouse gases. And how this nitrous oxide is produced in the nature. So, nitrous oxide molecules stay in at the atmosphere of an average of 121 years before being removed by a sink or destroyed through chemical reactions. See, this time period 121 years. Once a nitrogen gas is produced, nitrous oxide is produced, it will go into the atmosphere and it will stay there for like more than 100 years. So, see how bad this gas is. So, whenever the gas enter into the atmosphere, it is very, we cannot control the flow and it will be go up because of its low density. It will reach the stratosphere or somewhere where we cannot control, and we cannot remove this nitrous oxide by using any kind of techniques. And one more thing, the nitrous oxide cannot be detected with human eye or using any kind of machine because the earth's surface is very large. This nitrous oxide can be spread through any area. So nitrous oxide is very dangerous. It can be trapped in the atmosphere and it can stay there for like more than a century. And then globally, 40% of the nitrous oxide emissions come from human activity. This is the main source where we can stop the production of the nitrous oxide. So nitrous oxide cannot be removed from the atmosphere once it is entered there. So we have to control the production of the nitrous oxide, which constitute about 40% by the human activities. Along the human activities can be controlled so that we can reduce 40%. So produced from applications of synthetic and organic fertilizers and other cropping practices. Mostly nitrous oxide is produced from many farming techniques. Mostly fertilizers which are organic or synthetic fertilizers. These are used for in the farming where we can get more yield of the crops. So this can be controlled by using the fertilizers which does not produce nitrous oxide. But due to the need for the plants where they need nitrite or nitrous related objects for the production or the for growth of the crop, so we will use these fertilizers, so that these fertilizers will help the plants or crops to grow faster. So these fertilizers are very dangerous. They will not only make the crops grow faster, they will also make the crops have some extra nitrous effect. and along with that they will produce nitrous oxide, which is very dangerous for the atmosphere. So the management of manure, burning of agricultural residues. So these are also main causes of production of the nitrous oxide. So the manure, the dung coming out of the cows or buffaloes, goats, etc., they have to be carefully managed. They should not be decomposed or burned. If they burn means they will produce nitrous oxide, which is evolved into the atmosphere. And even agricultural residues, like after the field has been harvested, we will cut down the crop. Okay. Now the remaining waste part, which is produced from the farming, these should be properly managed. They should not be burned so that they will produce nitrous oxide and carbon dioxide sometimes. So the management of manure and burning of agricultural residues will produce nitrous oxide. Now this is another source where nitrous oxide gases are produced. And then what are the effects of global warming? So due to the production of these greenhouse gases, we are seeing the global warming is being happened. Now, what are the effects of this global warming? Why global warming is happening, we know. Now we'll see what are the effects of global warming. So, due to the production of greenhouse gases, we have seen now carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, and methane. These are the gases which are the key reasons for the greenhouse effect. And this greenhouse effect is causing global warming. Now we'll see what are the effects of global warming. First one is temperature rise. Due to climate changes, global temperature will rise. So whenever these gases are evolved into the atmosphere, what happens? They will trap the incoming solar radiation. So we have a dense atmosphere around the surface of the earth where it will filter the infrared radiation, and also it will protect the earth's surface from this dangerous and harmful radiation. So when the gases are being evolved into the atmosphere, what these gases can do is they can hold temperature. Whatever the temperature that is coming from the sun, it will be retained inside the earth's atmosphere, and this may lead to increase in the surface temperature, like earth surface temperature will be raised. So this is one effect where the temperature of the surface will increase. And second thing, melting of ice in polar ice caps. So in polar ice caps, we have uh, two polar ice caps on earth, one at the top of the earth and another one is at the bottom of the earth. The top part is called Arctic region and the bottom part is called Antarctic region. So in these two areas, we have large amount of ice. So due to the increase in the surface temperature, what happens is the ice present in these two areas are melted down. So the melting of this ice produces large amount of water, which will directly merge in the oceans, which will increase the level of the oceans. So the sea level will be increased every year because of the global warming. Okay. So glaciers and continental ice sheets are melted, rising the sea level. So this is another effect of global warming. And then third point is drought and heat waves. So due to reduction in the soil moisture because of heat waves making the soil unsuitable for farming. So what happens when there is an increase in the temperature? The air inside the Earth's atmosphere will be very hot when compared to the air previously it was like before a century ago. The average temperature of the air has increased due to global warming, and due to this, heat waves and droughts may occur. Heat waves means we can see in summer the temperature of the hot air will be very high. It may reach up to 45 degrees in India, and in some places it may reach up to 50 degrees. So due to this increasing of the temperature of the air, So heat waves will occur where it is very dangerous for human beings to withstand that heavy temperature. And droughts may also occur. Why droughts will occur is due to increase in the temperature and heat waves. What happens is the moisture present inside the earth's surface will be lost. The entire moisture will be evaporated. Now what happens is the earth will no longer have moisture for making or for the production of plants or growing of the plants. So that is when that situation, when the entire land is made not suitable for planting or growing of the crops, then that condition is called droughts. Okay, this is due to the increase in the temperature of the earth's surface. And then precipitation patterns. Precipitation patterns, global warming will result in the change of precipitation and also level of rain across the globe. So global warming not only increase the heat at some points of earth, in some places it will increase the rainfall or it will change the precipitation process. Precipitation process is the process by which the rains will occur in the places where the clouds will get cool. So the precipitation patterns will be changed due to global warming, and this global warming may lead to high level of rains at some areas and no rains in some places of the earth. So this is because due to global warming, the precipitation patterns also will be affected. And effect on the polar ice caps. See, we have discussed already that due to increase in the temperature, the polar ice sheets, continental sheets, they are called as glaciers or continental sheets. So these polar ice sheets will be melted and they will mix and they will be converted into water and they will be merged into the sea. So this will increase the sea level, which is very dangerous. And also we can see some polar animals like these. These polar animals, they require very cold temperature for survival. They are used to the cold temperature. When the temperature rises, it is very hard for them to survive the conditions where the temperatures are very high. So it is impossible for the polar animals to live in that area. So we are directly or indirectly increasing the Earth's surface temperature and we are making the polar ice caps area not very suitable for the living of polar animals. Okay, so this is the effect of the global warming on polar ice caps. Ozone layer depletion. Now another interesting topic of today's concern. This is not only interesting, this is a topic of serious issue. The ozone layer depletion, where we have to concern more because the depletion of the ozone layer may directly cause global warming. Now see here, we have a layer, we have a dense atmosphere around the earth. In this second picture we can see, here is the ozone layer, this is the surface of the earth. So from the surface of the earth, if we go up into the atmosphere, we have troposphere, and after that ozone layer is there, and after that stratosphere is there. So particularly ozone layer is the layer which is formed by ozone gas. This ozone gas is the combination of oxygen in three molecules, like O3 is the oxygen, is the ozone formula, and this ozone layer is very useful for sustainable living of human beings on the earth. Not only human beings, any living organism is being lived on the earth surface because of the protection that is given by the ozone layer. Okay, the ozone layer is the one which controls the harmful UV radiations. Okay, we can see from the sun is a burning star which will produce large amount of heat and different kinds of radiations. Along with heat, radiations will be produced. In those radiations, there are different radiations like infrared radiation, ultraviolet radiations. So all these ultraviolet radiations, they will be filtered by different layers of the atmosphere. We can see in this picture, ultraviolet C radiations are being entrapped by the stratosphere, and then ultraviolet B kind of radiations are being filtered by the ozone layer. Now, because the ultraviolet rays are very dangerous for human beings and also plants and animals, so they should be controlled. However, they are being controlled by the ozone layer, which is not man-made. It is formed naturally. So this ozone layer is making the life on Earth possible by filtering the harmful UV radiations coming from the sun. Okay. Now, however, some kind of ultraviolet radiations are still being entered into the atmosphere. Okay. Now, what the situation is, when these ultraviolet rays are being entered into the atmosphere, some are filtered at stratosphere, some are filtered at ozone layer, and some small kind of ultraviolet radiations will be entered into the atmosphere, which are not much danger, but yet they has to be taken care. So they may cause skin cancer, etc. Now, what happens is, due to the production of different gases on the surface of the Earth, now these gases are going up into the atmosphere and they are reacting with the ozone layer. Okay. Now, the harmful gases like CFC, chlorofluorocarbons. So, chlorofluorocarbons, when they are released into the atmosphere, they will enter into the atmosphere and they will react with the ozone layer. Now, they will react with ozone layer and they will form oxygen. So, the formula for chemical formula for ozone is O3. When chlorofluorocarbons react with them, they will form oxygen along with some carbons. So this is a very good process where we can get more oxygen for breathing on the surface of the Earth. But we can produce oxygen in many different ways, but not in this way, because we are depleting ozone layer, which may cause ultraviolet radiations enter into the atmosphere. Now, due to the depletion, this is a thin layer of gas which is producing, which is protecting the Earth from ultraviolet radiations. Now, the harmful gases, when they react with ozone layer, they will deplete the layer. That means it will convert the ozone into carbon and some other forms of oxygen. Now, what happens is, when this layer is depleted, when this layer becomes very thin, the ultraviolet radiations coming from the sun will enter directly onto the surface of the Earth. Now, what happens when when human beings, animals, or plants subjected to this harmful UV radiation, it may lead to skin cancer, or it may cause burning sensation. It may sometimes make the plants dead, or animals will be severely affected by this UV radiation. Okay. Now, this is where the ozone layer depletion has got very importance in the recent time, because the production of CFC gases or the chlorofluorocarbons, which are being produced from refrigeration systems around the Earth. So these gases are very dangerous, and they may lead to the depletion of the ozone layer. Okay, so ozone depletion, when chlorine and bromine atoms come into contact with ozone in the stratosphere, they destroy the ozone molecules. One chlorine atom can destroy over 1 lakh ozone molecules. See here. You can see one chlorine atom can destroy. That means it is not destroying. It is doing some chemical reaction where the ozone layer is being converted into some other form like oxygen or carbon. So the chlorine, one molecule or one atom can react with 1 lakh ozone molecules, and it will reduce the thickness of the ozone layer. So ozone can be destroyed more quickly than it is naturally created, because the formation of ozone layer is not done by any human activity. It is formed naturally by the atmosphere. Because of this ozone layer, the existence of life on the Earth's surface is possible. Without ozone layer, there will be no life on Earth. So we have to protect this ozone layer by not producing too much of chlorofluorocarbons. There are some techniques where we can reduce the production of chlorofluorocarbons. We can filter them. We can reduce the amount of chlorine or bromine that are being entered into the atmosphere, before they are released into the atmosphere, we can process them in order to decrease the quantity, or we can completely convert them into another form of chlorine and bromine, where they will not react with ozone layer. So we have many chemical techniques with which we can protect the ozone layer even though we produce these gases. So we have some effects of ozone layer depletion. Some effects are due to the entering of the ultraviolet radiations into the Earth's atmosphere. There are some bad issues. Ozone layer depletion causes increased UV radiations on Earth's surface, which is damaging to human health. So in this picture, we can see there are skin ailments, like we can get skin burning issues, skin cancers sometimes because of this UV radiation. So we have to wear a protective coat or a suit which is worn by the astronauts. So if ozone layer is depleted, we will get more UV radiation into the surface of the Earth, where we have to protect us from this UV radiation by wearing a space suit. Okay, so we should work in a way where we should not go into that problem. And negative effects include increase in the certain types of skin cancers, eye cataracts, and immunodeficiency disorders. So this UV radiation may cause cataracts, eye cataracts also, where a white color layer being formed into the human eye, which may leads to less vision. Okay, now immunodeficiency disorders also. So immunity of the human beings also may be reduced because of this UV radiations. Now damage to humans, plants, and aquatic animals. The plants are also affected by this UV radiation, and the marine life is also affected severely by this UV radiation. They may lead to death of the aquatic animals. So these are the effects of ozone layer depletion, where it has to be controlled. Otherwise, we have to face serious issues where we cannot go into outside surface without wearing a space suit. So that is all for today. And so far we have seen what is global warming, what are the greenhouse gases, and then we have seen what are the different greenhouse gases, how they are produced. They are like CO2, nitrous oxide, methane, etc. And we have seen the ozone layer depletion and what are the causes of ozone layer depletion. And we have seen what are the effects of ozone layer depletion. What are the gases that are being generated for the depletion of ozone layer are CFC, chlorofluorocarbons. So these are the topics we have seen in this lecture. We'll meet in the next lecture. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.